Okay, what we were discussing in last lecture, what we discussed?
Data link layer.
Data link layer. In data link layer, we finished one function of the data link layer. What was that function?
Bit splitting.
Framing. That function is framing,
Framing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to convert the packets which are received from the network layer in the form of frames. And that bit stuffing and all, those were different techniques of framing. How many techniques were there for framing?
Two.
Two techniques. One was
Bits of bytes.
Bit stuffing and byte.
no. There were two techniques. One was fixed size and another was variable size. Okay. And variable size was of four types: character count, flag bytes with byte stuffing, starting and ending flags with bit stuffing, and physical layer coding violation. Okay. So these were four subtypes of variable size framing. Okay. In character count, what we did, like how the frame used to make, what is the process of making frames in character count? Yes, anyone remember? Yes, does anyone remember? Keep the Put the number of characters in a frame and put that count in the header part. Okay, that this many number of count characters are in one frame. Then flag bytes with byte stuffing. Anyone remembers what is in this flag bytes with byte stuffing? Yes, does anyone remember? Whatever you remember. अरे भाई कोई तो बोलो. किसी को कुछ याद नहीं है? What is byte stuffing? Byte stuffing याद है? Yes, anyone?
In
Can
byte
you hear?
stuffing,
Uh,
we have to enter one escape in data. Means every data before every data we have to enter one escape.
in byte stuffing, yes. In byte stuffing, we have to make frames, put the data in the frames, and in the starting put one flag, and in the end put one flag to indicate that start and end of the frame. And if the flag pattern appears in the data part also, then to avoid that confusion, put escape character before flag pattern which is appearing in the data. And if escape character also appears in the data, then if escape character pattern is also part of data, then
Enter
Then
zero.
we have
no, then put one more escape
One more
character
escape.
before that. Okay. Then second one was the third technique was starting and ending flags with bit stuffing. What was in that? Anyone remember?
Starting ending flag was 0, 6, 1 and 0.
So that was starting and ending flag. So starting and ending, put a flag to indicate that this is the start of frame, this is the end of frame. Okay. And that flag pattern was 0, 6 ones and 0. And what is bit stuffing?
If in the data part 5 ones occur, then you have to add a 0 after it.
5 ones after a 0.
Yes, after a 0.
Yeah, then insert 1 0 there. Okay, so that if the flag pattern appears in our data part, then the receiver should not consider that as a end of the frame. It should be considered as a part of the data. So that's why one extra 0 is stuffed. So wherever in the data pattern we have 0 followed by 5 ones, one extra 0 is stuffed. So that is bit stuffing. Physical layer coding violation. Physical layer coding violation. What is that physical layer coding violation? Anyone remembers anything about that? In physical layer coding violation, what we do, change the physical layer encoding. If we are using certain encoding which represent half sort of thing, like Manchester encoding, yeah, biface Manchester. Okay, so there, if one bit is represented by two different voltages, like 0, half 1, like that, then to indicate the starting and end of the frame, what we can do, we can put both the high or both the low. Okay, but that is, we have to make changes at the physical layer, that in the hardware and in the encoding. So that's why that is not generally used. So that is applicable only in the network where encoding on physical medium contains some redundancy, like in the LAN where we encode one bit of the data using two physical bits. It's possible only there, not everywhere. Okay. Then these were 4 framing techniques. So framing is one of the function of data link layer. So this is just look these PPTs, just have a revision of this, and then we will go. This is byte stuffing. So put flag in the starting and end of the frame, put trailer and header, and this is your data part. This sky blue color, no? This is your data part. And in the data part, if that flag pattern is appearing or escape character is, if flag pattern is appearing, then stuff one extra escape character. And if escape character is also appearing as a part of data, then stuff one more escape character before this. This is byte stuffing. Then bit stuffing. In the bit stuffing, put flag, header, data, trailer, and flag. Now, if that flag pattern is appearing in the data also, then stuff extra 0 wherever you see a 0 followed by 5 ones, stuff extra 0. 0 followed by 5 1, stuff extra 0. So this is bit stuffing. Now this flow and error control. This is second function of data link layer. So that is the most important responsibility of the data link layer, that flow and error control, and we call them as a data link control. Flow control is to synchronize the amount of data that center can send before waiting for the acknowledgement, how much data it can send. And error control is if your data is lost on the way, then you have to automatically retransmit that data. So that is error control. So flow and error control. So that is second function of data link layer. For this, we considered 2 categories of the protocol. One was noise for noiseless channel and another was for the noisy channel. In noiseless channel, we considered all ideal conditions: unlimited bandwidth, perfect network, unlimited buffer space at the receiver side, no packets lost, no frames lost, no data is corrupted. Whatever you are sending, received as it is. Okay. So there is no chance of retransmission because your frame, your data is not lost. So why you will retransmit that? Okay. So there is no question of retransmission. So that's why there is no ARQ. ARQ, we call it as a automatic repeat request. Okay. So there is no question of ARQ. Then there are two protocols of noiseless channel. One is simplest and another one is stop and wait. This we did in the last lecture, just giving a revision, brief revision about this. In the noiseless channel, first simplest, the sender continue to send. No acknowledgement is provided by the receiver. Whenever sender gets the data from the network layer, it makes the frame from that data and send those data frames, give it to physical layer, and physical layer converts them in the form of bits, and then bits are encoded and then transmitted over the network. Okay. Then next is our stop and wait. Here we have to wait for the acknowledgement from the receiver, that receiver has received acknowledgement. So when you are expecting acknowledgement, then you have to give sequence number also. See, if you are continuously sending all the frames, and your frames will not be lost in any case. So even if you are not putting sequence number, that is okay. No, we don't need any sequence number, because our data is going to be in a sequence only, because our frame is not lost, no frame will be corrupted, like that. And we don't want acknowledgement also. But when we are sending the data and we expect the receiver to reply, so for that we have to use sequence number, because we need to know some mechanism that where we can find out that which frame is received, what is the next frame. And acknowledgement number is always contains, acknowledgement frame always contains the number of the next frame which is expected. Okay, so if you are sending frame number 1, then acknowledgement number will be 2, because it means that I received your frame number 1, I'm expecting your frame number 2. So that's why, and in stop and wait, send over one frame, wait for acknowledgement, received acknowledgement, then send the next frame, then wait for acknowledgement, then send the next frame, like this. So that's why we call it as a stop and wait. Send, stop, and wait. And now here, how many bits are required for sequence number? How many bits are sufficient for sequence number? How many bits are sufficient for providing sequence number? Yes, tell me, anyone remember? Last time we discussed this thing, the possible combination and all. Does anyone remember? For stop and wait, how many bits or how many sequence number are required?
4.
4. Why 4?
Ma'am, 0, like 0001, 1011, 2 raised to
Okay,
2.
2 raised to power 2. No. 2 raised to power 2, what you are telling Manish is correct, but we don't need 2 bits. We can use only 1 bit. See, all those bits now, why these bits are important? Because here, when we are putting the data in the flag now, in the header part, okay, so here header part, that bytes are specified. My PC got hanged. What happened? Okay, so here in the header part, the number of bytes are give me a second. Yeah, I hope that PPT is visible. Okay, so in this, when we are making frame now here, so when we are adding this header here, this header, the number of bytes we can add to the header. That is fixed. Okay, depending on the protocol which we are using. So in that header, we have to send a lot of control information, not only the size, starting, ending. In this header, we have to include MAC address, we have to source MAC address, destination MAC address, and many other control informations we have to send. So here, that number of bytes which we are using for that sequence, that is fixed with depending on the protocol. So if we are using stop and wait, only one bit is sufficient, because we are sending only one protocol at a time. So first frame which we are sending, we can send a sequence number 0. The next frame we can send as a sequence number 1. Next time again 0, 1, 0, 1, because alternate we have to send. So that's why even if we are having only 1 bit sequence number, that is sufficient, because first I'll send only one frame I'm going to send. So I'll send frame number 0. The receiver will provide acknowledgement 1. It means that I received your frame number 0. I'm expecting your frame number 1. Then we will send this frame number 1. So when we are sending frame number 1, acknowledgement will be 0, that I received your frame number 1. Now I'm expecting your frame number 0. So our sequence number of the frame which we are sending will be 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, like that. All the frames which are coming. But that is not sufficient in another protocols. If you are sending only one frame and waiting, then only one bit if you are using, you can make 2 possible combinations. So the number of bits you are using for the sequence number, how many possible combinations you make from that, that is 2 raised to power that number of bits. So if we are using 2 bits for sequence number, then we can make 4 possible combinations, 0, 1, 2, 3. So first frame we can give sequence number 0, for second frame we can give sequence number 1, for next frame we can give sequence number 2, for the next frame we can give sequence number 3, and after that we can repeat 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. So in stop and wait, even if we are using that 1 bit, that is sufficient, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, like that we can send. Okay, so these are 2 protocols which are for noiseless channel, but that noiseless channel does not exist in reality. That does not exist in the reality, because there are chances that your frame will be lost, your frame will be corrupted. Okay, there are chances. So for that, we use this for noisy channel. We use this noisy channel, 3 noisy channel protocols: stop and wait, go back, and ARQ, selective repeat ARQ. ARQ stands automatic repeat request. It means if your frame, you send a frame, wait for acknowledgement. If you have not received that acknowledgement for a certain amount of time, then you retransmit that frame and you continue to send that frame till the time you get the acknowledgement, because this data link layer provides reliable delivery. So it will continue to send the frame till the time it receives the acknowledgement. Okay, so that's why we call it as an automatic repeat request. And how much time it should wait for the acknowledgement? The time when we are sending, the total what we'll say turnaround time, the total time taken by our frame to reach to the destination, and the time taken from the acknowledgement to reach to our sender, plus some additional time. So that much time we have to wait. So every time when data link layer send a frame, it will start a timer for that particular amount. For every frame, it will start a timer. And if you receive acknowledgement before the timer expires, you close that timer and you send the next frame. But if you do not receive acknowledgement before the timer expired, then you retransmit that frame and restart your timer. Again, wait for acknowledgement. If you received acknowledgement, close the timer and send the next frame, start a new timer. Otherwise, retransmit that frame and again restart the timer. So that is the main concept of this ARQ. Now, this stop and wait ARQ, this is same as your simplest protocol, but in simplest protocol, your frame was, there was no chance of that your frame will be lost. But in this case, your frame can be lost. So here, the data link layer have to keep a copy of that frame which is transmitted. It cannot discard that copy which it has received from the network layer, made the frame now. So that frame, it has to keep that copy till the time you receive the acknowledgement. Once the acknowledgement received, you can discard that. Okay, and if your acknowledgement is not received before the timer expire, you retransmit that frame. So is this concept of ARQ, that automatic repeat request, is clear? Any doubt in this? Should I repeat something? Because this ARQ is going to be used in all these three protocols. Is this clear? Anyone has any doubt, or should I repeat something from this? Yes, no. No doubt? Okay. So in stop and wait ARQ, we use a sequence number. And sequence number is based on modulo 2 arithmetic. No carry, no borrow. Okay. And here acknowledgement number will always, it is also using modulo 2 arithmetic. So again, it will be, the acknowledgement number will be the sequence number of the next frame, which is expected. So here sequence number is maintained, stop and wait ARQ. So for this maintaining the sequence number, we will use a variable Sn. Sn will point out to the sequence number of the next frame which we have to transmit. So the next frame to send. So that value is stored in this variable Sn. At the receiver side, again a variable is maintained, Rn, that next frame to receive. Next frame to receive. So here, where whatever value is set into this Sn, that sequence number is added in this frame. And when this frame is received at the receiver side, that sequence number is matched with the Rn, that this is the frame which was expected. And if both the values are same of the sequence number given in the frame and the value of Rn, then that frame will be accepted. Otherwise, that frame will be discarded. It will not be accepted. Okay. And after that, the value of this Rn will be increased by 1. So it will be increased by 1, and whatever value this Rn is pointing, that sequence number is added in this acknowledgement frame. That sequence number is added into this acknowledgement frame. It means that I received your previous frame and now I'm expecting this frame, and that frame is transmitted back to the sender side. And sender receives that frame, check the sequence number, whether that Sn minus 1. So that acknowledgement received for the previous frame, and then send this next frame, the where this Sn is pointing. So here, in addition to that previous stop and wait ARQ, two variables are maintained, Sn at the sender side, which indicates the next frame to send, and Rn, which indicates next frame to receive. Sn is a sequence number added in the this data frame sequence number. It is sent over the network at the receiver side. That sequence number is compared with the Rn. If that Rn and the sequence number given in the frame is same, then that frame is received and the value of Rn is increased, and that Rn value is put into this acknowledgement frame in the sequence number part as acknowledgement number, and it is transmitted back to the sender. Okay, so here every time the frame is transmitted, a timer is started. A timer is started, and if acknowledgement is not received before the timer expires, then what we have to do, we have to retransmit that frame. We have to retransmit that frame. So here, all this algorithm for sender side is same. Notification from the physical layer for the acknowledgement that we have received, request from the network layer for the data to be transmitted, and one more event is added, that timeout. Now here, in this is a algorithm for stop and wait. Sn initially send to 0. Can send is a Boolean variable, which was in the previous stop and wait also. So it is set to true. It means you can send. You cannot send any frame till the time you receive the acknowledgement for the next frame. So initially it is set to true. And then wait for the event. Event is like when you have the data from the network layer to transmit, and you have this value of this can send is set to true. If both the values are true, then you get the data from the network layer, make frame, and put the sequence number of given in the SN, the sequence value which is in the SN, put that value as a sequence number. Then store that frame. You cannot discard this frame. You have to keep a copy. Then send that frame with the sequence number SN, start a timer, and increment the value of SN plus 1, because now the SN will point out that next frame to be transmitted. That this frame we already transmitted. Now this is the next frame to be transmitted, and set this can send value to false. And then send this, and now wait for the event. You transmit it. Now when you can send the next frame, when you receive the acknowledgement. Okay, so now wait for the acknowledgement. So you receive the arrival notification that your acknowledgement has arrived. So receive frame with that acknowledgement number, and you check that acknowledgement number, that your frame is not corrupted and acknowledgement number is same as SN. It means that previous frame is received, and now the next value which we set to this SN, we already incremented this by 1 now. So now that next frame is expected. If these both conditions are true, stop the timer. Now you can discard the copy, previous copy SN minus 1, which you kept that frame, the copy which you have now. Now you don't need that copy, and set this value of can send to true. And if timeout, that is the event, the timer expired, you have not received the acknowledgement, then you start the timer again and resend the frame SN minus 1, because now SN is pointing the next frame to be transmitted, but you have not received the acknowledgement for the previous frame which you sent. So resend that frame. Okay, so this is at the sender side. Any doubt in this, the algorithm for transmission at the sender side? What we are doing at the sender side? Yes. Should I repeat something? Is this clear? At least say yes, no. If you want me to repeat something, or is this clear, we can proceed.
Proceed.
It's clear now? Repeat. Okay. Mhm. See, in stop and wait, because see, the next two protocols are more complex than this stop and wait. This is the simplest one. Okay, so you understand this one properly, and then it will help you to understand the next two protocols. Okay, so here, because there are chances that our frame can be lost, our frame can be corrupted, or we have to retransmit the frame. Our acknowledgement also can be lost, acknowledgement can be corrupted. So that's why we need to maintain sequence number at the sender side and the receiver side, so that duplicate frame also should not be received. Duplicate frame also should not be received. So that's why here two variables are maintained, SN and RN. SN indicates the next frame to send, RN indicates the next frame to receive. Initially, when the frame is sent, this SN is set to 0, and it can send only the frame if you have received the acknowledgement. So initially we are using a Boolean variable, and initial value of this Boolean variable we have set to true. Okay, so these two values are set initially in the starting of your algorithm, and you repeat forever. What you have to do here, if you receive the data from the network layer to transmit, and the value of this can send is true, then you can transmit the frame. So for that, what you have to do, you get the data from the network layer, prepare frame using any of those 4 techniques we discussed now: variable side, bit stuffing, byte stuffing. Generally bit stuffing wala technique is used. Okay, so make the frame using, put the flag in the end and the starting, then headers and all that stuff. You prepare the frame, and in the header part where you have to mention the sequence number, you put the value which is set into the SN. So you put the sequence number into that frame. store that frame, keep a copy of that frame, then send that frame, transmit that frame, and start a timer. For every frame which you transmit, you have to start the timer. Now, value of this timer is generally set to your round trip time, a bit more time than your round trip time, considering the congestion in the network. Okay. Then start the timer and increment the value of this SN, because now it should point out to the next frame which we have to transmit, because this frame we are already transmitting. We have already transmitted now. So set the value of SN to the SN plus 1 and set this can send to false. We can send only if we receive the acknowledgement for the frame which we have transmitted. Now wait for the acknowledgement. While waiting for the acknowledgement, if you receive acknowledgement, then receive the frame with the acknowledgement number. Now check the acknowledgement number. This acknowledgement number should be pointing to the same value as SN, because acknowledgement number points always the next frame to be expected. So if acknowledgement number is 1, it means I received your frame number 0, waiting for your acknowledgement, waiting for your frame number 1. So this acknowledgement number should be same as SN, and your acknowledgement frame should not be corrupted. Then you stop the timer, you discard the copy which you kept, and set the value of can send true, so that the next frame can be retransmitted. And if your timer expired, timeout, then you start the timer again and retransmit the previous frame. Now SN is pointing the next frame to be transmitted, but previous frame you have not received the acknowledgement. Send the previous frame, the copy, resend that copy, and continue to do this till the time you receive acknowledgement. Okay, is this clear? So this is algorithm at the sender side. Is this clear? Now what happens at the receiver side? At the receiver side, the RN is set to 0. While true, wait for the event. What is that event? The data frame arrived. So the data frame arrived, receive the frame, check. If the frame is corrupted, sleep, don't do anything. Don't send any acknowledgement. So if your frame is corrupted, then don't do anything, because you just wait. The timer will expire for the sender and he will retransmit. You don't do anything. Okay, so if frame is corrupted, sleep. Otherwise, if sequence number, frame is received, it is not corrupted. So sequence number is same as the RN. It means it is not a duplicate frame. You have received the frame which you were expecting. The expected frame only received. So check if the sequence number is same as RN. If it is same, yes, then extract the data, deliver the data to the network layer and increment the value of this RN. Now RN is the next frame you are expecting, next frame to be received. And this should be the acknowledgement number of the frame which you are sending. It means you will tell the sender that I received your previous frame, now I'm expecting this frame. So, and prepare a frame of acknowledgement, put this RN as a acknowledgement number and transmit it. So this is at the receiver side, and when this frame is transmitted, the sender will check again and this. Now this process is clear. What happens at the sender side and receiver side in stop and wait? Any doubt? Should I repeat something? Yes, is it clear? Okay, now here you see example. In this, initially SN set to 0, RN set to 0. Okay, at the sender side, SN set to 0, RN set to 0. Now you transmit that frame, putting this sequence number, frame 0, transmit it. Here, receiver, compare the value of RN, which is set to 0, and the sequence number of the frame. It is same? Yes, then that frame is accepted. Now increment the value of RN by 1. Now RN will point out to 1. Now prepare an acknowledgement frame, put the sequence number of RN into the acknowledgement frame and transmit it. Here, now SN is pointing to 1. Here after sending this frame, you incremented the SN is pointing to 1. When acknowledgement is received, you compare this acknowledgement number with the current value of the SN. Now, if it is same, then send this frame. It means previous frame is received. Now this frame is expected. ACK1 means I have received your frame number 0. I'm expecting your frame number 1. Then send this frame containing sequence number 1. Now that frame is lost. You start the timer. This you transmitted frame successfully and received acknowledgement successfully. This is the case when your acknowledgement and transmission of frame is success and you stop the timer. Now send the next frame. Now this frame was lost on the way. The frame was lost. So here RN, this receiver will not do anything because it is continuously waiting for the frame number with this sequence number 1. It has not received anything, so it will continue to wait. Here the timer will expire for the sender. Then it has to restart the timer and resend this same frame number 1. You retransmit it. So when you retransmit it, it is received. Now again this frame number 1, which compared to the value of Rn, which was 1. So it is same. Now Rn is incremented by 1. Now Rn is pointing to 0. Now prepare a frame, put this Rn 0 as a sequence number in the acknowledgement frame and send. Here acknowledgement received. You stop the timer. Now SN, after sending this SN1 to 1, you already incremented the SN to 1. So now SN is pointing to 0. Now you send this frame number 0 again. Now you are sending this frame number 0 here. It is expecting the frame number Rn value was pointing to 0. So this frame number 0 Rn is same. You increment the Rn and send the acknowledgement. Now acknowledgement is lost. Acknowledgement is lost. So here the timer will expire because you will not receive the acknowledgement. So you retransmit the frame and start the timer again. So you retransmit the frame here. So here, see this Rn is pointing to 1 and you receive the frame number 0. So now this value will not match. Frame number 0 and the value of Rn will not match. It means it is a duplicate frame. The frame with the sequence number 0 is already received. So it will simply discard that and it will come to know that acknowledgement was lost. That my acknowledgement didn't reach there. That's why this frame is retransmitted. So it will send the acknowledgement again. And now you receive the acknowledgement and send the next frame. So this process will continue. Is this clear? Any doubt in this? Should I repeat something? Okay. Is this clear to everyone? Anyone has any doubt? Okay, very good. So here the case is when the frame is lost and the acknowledgement is lost and retransmission of duplicate frame and then a successful transmission. So these are the all cases are covered. So in the exam, if you have to explain any of the protocol, stop and wait ARQ, selective repeat ARQ, go back and ARQ, you have to explain with the help of flow diagram. The same way you have to explain. This way, this is the way you have to explain there. With the theory, you have to write and you have to demonstrate this process like this. For all three, anything is asked. Stop and wait, go back and selective repeat. And 99% from go back and selective repeat. One thing is asked, either comparison or explain any one on better, which one is the better, or sometimes a scenario is given, like you transmitted your frame number 1 was lost, this was lost, acknowledgement was lost, draw the sequence diagram, draw the flow diagram for this scenario. So then you have to understand that statement and draw this type of scenario. So is this clear? We can proceed. Even if they have asked, explain, simply explain. Generally don't expect this type of simple questions there, but even if they have asked simple explain statements that explain stop and wait ARQ or selective repeat ARQ or go back and ARQ, then also you have to explain with the help of this flow diagram. Okay, now in stop and wait, what we are doing, we are wasting the bandwidth. Why we are wasting the bandwidth? We are sending one frame at a time on the network, waiting for the acknowledgement, receiving acknowledgement. Again, we are sending only one frame. So we are wasting the bandwidth. So here one example is given. See, your bandwidth of the line is 1 Mbps and one bit takes 20 ms to make a round trip time. Like you sent and you received back acknowledgement. So it takes 20 ms. So bandwidth delay product, if you have to find out, it will be, this is the bandwidth capacity and into 20 ms is 20 by 0.0002 hota hai. So this is the capacity of the network, we can say. See, if it is taking 20 ms to travel the entire network. So this is the capacity of your network. So you can transmit 20,000 bits per second. Okay, you can transmit 20,000 bits, and you are sending a frame which is of size 1,000 bits only. So at a time, what you are sending, where you can send to 20,000 bits, you are sending only 1,000 bits. Then waiting for the acknowledgement. The acknowledgement frame is even smaller because that does not contain any data. Okay, so what we are doing, we are hardly utilizing 5% of the network. Okay, we are sending one frame, waiting, sending one frame, waiting, sending one frame, waiting. So it wastes a lot of capacity of the link. So that's why the next protocol. So link utilization percentage is very less. So here in the previous one, this is given all this value. So they are saying we can send, if we can send 15 frames without waiting for acknowledgement. In previous one, here we can send only one frame, we have to wait for acknowledgement. Now the same problem, in the same situation, if you can send 15 frames without waiting for acknowledgement, you continuously transmit frames 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that, 15 frames you can transmit. Then, and each frame is of size 1,000 bits. So total you can transmit 15,000 bits. So your link utilization will be 15,000 by 20,000 because 20,000 is the capacity. You can transmit 20,000. So almost 75% utilization you are doing. But generally this is not possible because your frames will be lost, your frames will be damaged. You have to retransmit those frames. But at least not 75%, we can utilize up to 50 to 60%. That is even better than 5%. So that's why two more protocols were designed, go back and selective repeat. Go back and selective repeat. Both are known as sliding window protocol. Sliding window protocol. So sliding window protocols are go back and selective repeat. And here sequence number are 2 raised to power m. M is the size of sequence number field. So if we are using m 2 bits, if you are using the size of sequence number field is 2 bits, then our sequence number can be 0, 1, 2, 3. Again 0, 1, 2, 3. If you are using 3 bits for the sequence number, then our possible combination or our sequence number can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. Okay. And that number of suppose we are using here m is equals to 4. We are using 4 bits for sequence number. So our sequence number can be 0 to 15. If you are using 4 bits for sequence number, your sequence number can be 0 to 15. Again, you can repeat from 0 to 15, 0 to 15 like that. And how many frames you can transmit without waiting for acknowledgement is 2 raised to power m minus 1. Remember this. This is very, very, very important. Note it down somewhere. Okay. The size of the window for go back queue is 2 raised to power m minus 1. It means you can send one frame less than the total number of possible sequence number. And those many number of frames you can send without waiting for acknowledgement, and all those frames are kept under one window. It means you can send those frames which are kept in that window. We call that window as a sliding window. We call that window as a sliding window. And when we receive the acknowledgement for any frame, we slide the window by 1. So suppose we receive the acknowledgement for the frame number 0. Now you slide the window by 1 size. Now this window will be from frame number 1 to 15. So you can send all the frames which are in the window without waiting for acknowledgement. And when you receive the acknowledgement for any frame, you slide that window one by one, one by one, one by one, like that. So that's why we call it as a sliding window protocol. Okay. But if any frame was lost, you have not received the acknowledgement, then you have to retransmit all the frames starting from that window. That's why we call it as a go back N. Okay, you have to retransmit all the frames which were kept in the window you already transmitted. So that's why we call it as a go back N. You send those N number of frames. So here in this example, we are using 4 bits for sequence number. So our sequence number will be 0 to 15. Window size will be 1 less than that. So 2 raised to power m minus 1. So your window size will be 0 to 14. So you can transmit all these frames 0 to 14 without waiting for acknowledgement. And this window will have 4 parts. This part is the frame which are already acknowledged. You transmitted and acknowledged. These frames are transmitted but not acknowledged. These frames can be sent, but you have not received the data from the upper layer. When you receive the data, you send these frames. And these frames cannot be sent which are outside the window. And here we have to maintain 3 variables. One is to indicate the size, S size of the window, send size window. SF is the first frame in the outstanding frame, the first outstanding frame. It means the frame for which you transmitted, but you have not received acknowledgement yet. So SF will point out to that outstanding frame. Once you receive acknowledgement, you increment the value of SF. Now SF will point out to this one. Now you receive acknowledgement from this frame, you increment the SF. SF will point out for the frame number 2. Because why we need to maintain this count? Because if you have to retransmit, you should know from where you have to start retransmission. All the frames, if all these frames you transmitted and you have not received acknowledgement for frame number 0, so you have to retransmit all the frames. And SN is the point, indicates to the next frame to be sent. Okay, next frame. So every time when you transmit any frame, you increment the value of SN, which will point out to the next frame which you can transmit. So SN indicates the next frame which you can transmit. And every time you receive the acknowledgement, you slide the window by 1. So here you receive the acknowledgement. Now you receive the acknowledgement for 0, 1 and 2. Now you have not received the acknowledgement for 3. So SF is pointing to 3 and you slided the window by 3 size. So now the next 3 values 15, 0, 1 is added into the window. Now you can send all these frames without waiting for acknowledgement. Is this clear? Whatever you are understanding from this screen, is this clear? Any doubt in this? This is very important. Not very, very, very important. Oh shit, what I did. Okay, repeat. Yeah, I'll repeat it. See, I'll repeat here with the help of this example. Okay. Initially, this SF and SN pointing to the first frame. It means outstanding frame is first and the next frame send is first. You send first frame. Now these frames are inside the window. So if all these frames are inside the window, can you tell me how many bits we are using for sequence number and what is the window size here? In this, by looking at this diagram, can you tell me how many bits we are using for sequence number and What is the window size? Yes, anyone? See, I told you window size is 2 raised to power m minus 1. I'm asking the value of that m. Here, window size, you can see how many, what is the window size here? 7. There are 7 frames in the window.
4.
No. 7 is equals to 2 raised to power m minus 1. This is the equation. Now you tell me the value of m.
3.
Yes, 3. So sequence number, you are using 3 bits for sequence number. And your sequence numbers will be starting from 0 to 0 to, if you are using 3 bits, possible sequence number will be total 2 raised to power 3. Possible sequence number will be 8. So 0 to 7. So your sequence number will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. And your window size will be 2 raised to power m minus 1. So 2 raised to power 3 minus 1. So that is 7. So 7 frames. So that is the window size here. And initially SF, SN pointing to the 0th frame. So this is your frame number 0. You send that frame, increment the value of SN. You cannot increment the value of SF. SF is incremented only if you receive acknowledgement. Now SN. Now you send the this frame number 1. Increment the value of SN. SN points to 2. Now send this frame, increment the value of this time. And simultaneously, if you receive acknowledgement, you increment the value of SF. If you receive acknowledgement from frame number 0, you increment the value of SF1. If you received acknowledgement for this, you increment the value of SF1. So, and when you receive when you received acknowledgement, you slide the window by 1. So if this frame is acknowledged, then you include the next frame in the window. Now, if this frame is acknowledged, then you add the next frame into the window. You slide the window. वो स्लाइडर होता है ना, कहीं तो अपने कहीं स्केल पे या कुछ तो होता था. Whatever you want to keep into that frame, you slide that. Okay, so that many number of frames you can transmit. Okay, yeah. So the window size is the number of bits you are using for the sequence minus 1. And it contains, the window contains 2 parts. One part contains the frame you already transmitted, but you have not received acknowledgement. And another part contains the next frame you can transmit. So you can transmit these 15 frames without waiting for acknowledgement. Okay. Even if you have not received acknowledgement, you can transmit these total 15 frames. And whenever you are receiving any acknowledgement, you are incrementing the value of SF and sliding the window by 1. And when you have not received any acknowledgement, you retransmit that frame starting from the SF. So SF point out the first outstanding frame, and SN points out the next frame which you can transmit. Frame you transmitted, but you have not received from upper layer. This is window size. Okay. And every time you receive acknowledgement, you slide the window by 1. And if you have not received acknowledgement, timer expired for the frame number 3. SF was pointing to frame number 3 here, suppose, and your timer expired for frame number 3. For every frame which you have transmitted, you have started a timer. And if timer expired for this one, you retransmit all the frames starting from this SF 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's why this is go back N. Like you go back to N where you didn't receive acknowledgement, retransmit them. Again, start the timer. Okay. Now I'll explain that algorithm. I hope you'll understand from there. So 3 variables, SF, SM, Sn and size, and that window which we are calling, that is an imaginary box of size 2 raised to power m minus 1. So 1 less than this size. Okay, and you can slide one or more slot when valid acknowledgement arrives. And at the receiver side, the window size is 1. At the receiver side, window size is 1. And that points to the next frame which is expected. The next frame which is expected. So when this Rn is pointing to 3, so when frame number 3 is received, the Rn is incremented by 1. Rn will point out to 4, and this 4 will be the given as an acknowledgement number and transmitted. And now if frame number 4 is received, then Rn is pointing to the 5, and it means fifth frame is expected. So the window size at the receiver side is 1. Okay, before this I'll explain this diagram. Yeah, this thing. Okay, so here SW, this is a window size. We set 2 raised to power m minus 1. This is our window size, that the frames in the window, sliding window. Then SF is set to 0, SN is set to 0. And then if SN minus SF is greater than SW, it means you already transmitted the frame, more frame than in the window. Like SN increased, SN went out the window, went outside the window, then you cannot send. The window is full. It means you have already transmitted all the frames which were in the window. You are waiting for the acknowledgement. Otherwise, if you have frames in the window, get the data, make frame with the SN, store the frame, because you have to keep a copy till the time you receive acknowledgement. Then send the frame, increment the value of SN, and start the timer. Start the timer for that particular frame. Now, if you receive the acknowledgement, see SF is still pointing to 0. SF is still pointing to 0. We have not incremented SF. We are just incrementing SN. Okay. And if you receive the acknowledgement, if it is corrupted acknowledgement, don't do anything. Okay. Then if acknowledgement number is greater than SF, why it is greater than SF? Because SF is pointing to the first frame you transmitted. Acknowledgement number will be always for the next frame which is expected. So acknowledgement number will never be 0 for frame number 0. If acknowledgement number you have received 3, it means I have received your frame number 2. I am waiting for your frame number 3. If your acknowledgement number is 7, it means I received your frame number. That acknowledgement number will be always greater than SF. It means that that frame is already expected, received at the receiver side. And acknowledgement number is less than SN, because that is inside the window. Then only it is a valid acknowledgement. Then if it is less than, then you can remove that frame. Now that SF is that frame you can discard, and now SF can point to the next frame because you have received the acknowledgement for this particular frame, and stop the timer. And if timeout, then start the timer again. This whatever value was in that SF, you store into the temp, because we cannot make changes permanently in this. Okay, so you store into the temp. If temp is less than SN, like still the next frame to be sent, it should be less than. Then send the frame with that acknowledgement and increment the value of SF by 1. You retransmitted that frame here if the timer expired. At the receiver side, Rn is set to 0. If you receive the frame. If corrupted frame, don't do anything. Otherwise, check the sequence number of the frame is same as you are expecting. Yes. Receive the frame, increment the value of Rn to 1 by 1, and send the acknowledgement containing that sequence number. Now, is this process clear? Is this algorithm clear? Any doubt? Should I repeat something? Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. So why now one question is, why we are keeping the window size 1 less than the sequence number. See, if our sequence number are 0, 1, 2, 3, again 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, why we are keeping window size less than 1? 1 less than the this. So that is the reason. Sometimes this question can be asked, like give the reason why this window size is 2 raised to power m minus 1. Why it is not 2 raised to power m? This is to avoid duplicate frames. So here we have taken two scenarios. In this, can you tell me the number of bits used for sequence number? Can you tell me the size of m here? By looking at this diagram, what will be the size of m? What is the value of m here? M is 2. So yes, sequence number will be 2 raised to power 2, 4. So sequence number will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now window size will be 2 raised to power m minus 1. So your window size will be 0, 1, 2. Okay. 0, 1, 2. Okay. So window size will be our 0, 1, 2. Not 3 is included. Now, initially this SF and SN both point out to 0 and you send frame number 0. Here a value of Rn is set to 0. This is received. The value of Rn is incremented by 1 and now that acknowledgement is transmitted, but that acknowledgement is lost. Now here it can send frame number 0, 1, 2, the frames which are inside the window without waiting for the acknowledgement. So the SN was pointing to 1. Now you can send the frame number 1. Now Rn is pointing to 1. You have received the exact frame which was expected. Okay. Then you send the acknowledgement containing 2. Acknowledgement number 2. It means I received frame number 1. I'm waiting for frame number 2. That acknowledgement is also lost. And now the SN is pointing to 2. And you are sending the frame number 2. Frame number 2. And here it is also expecting frame number 2. And now this Rn is incremented to 3. Now you are expecting frame number 3. You send the acknowledgement. Again, that acknowledgement is lost. Now here this window is full. In the window there were only 3 frames and you transmitted all the frames without waiting for acknowledgement. Now you cannot send next frame till the time you receive acknowledgement for at least 1 frame. You cannot send. Okay. Now your window is full. You cannot send any next frame till the time you receive acknowledgement. Now suppose you wait and your timer expired. Now you retransmit the frame number 0 because SF is pointing to 0. So this was the first frame. You have to send all the frames in the window for which you have not received acknowledgement. That's why we call it as a go back N. So now here you send this frame number 0 again, and here Rn is pointing to frame number 3. So when you receive frame number 0, what it will know? It will come to know that this is duplicate frame which it has already received. So it will discard that and it will send ACK3. This receiver can send cumulative acknowledgement also. If it is sending ACK3, it means I have received all your frames till frame number 3. It means I have received all your frames 0, 1 and 2. So this Rn will send, this receiver will send an acknowledgement ACK3. So when this ACK3 will be received here, now this SF will point to 3, SN will point to 3. Now SN can send and the window size will be 3, 0, 1, 2. 3, the next frame 0, the next frame 1. Like that, the window will slide by 1. So here the duplicate frame which was sent is discarded. Here the receiver was able to discard that duplicate frame. But if we are keeping the window size same as the number of sequence, our window size is 2 raised to power m, not 2 raised to power m minus 1. So in this case, when you send frame number 2, here it was expecting frame number 2, all acknowledgement lost. Now frame number 3 you are expecting. So it transmitted frame number 3. So it is pointing to frame number 3. Now Rn is incremented because now sequence number are being repeated. So Rn, it is pointing to frame number 0. But here timer expired. Now you are retransmitting this frame number 0 because all the frames in the window you already transmitted. You have not received acknowledgement. Now you are retransmitting this frame number 0. But what Rn is expecting that this sequence number will match because Rn will think, this receiver will think that this is a next frame. The next frame. Again, you are repeating the sequence now 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So what it will expect that now you are sending this frame number 0, although it is a duplicate frame which you already transmitted. So here this duplicate frame will be accepted. This will be accepted if the window size is same as 2 raised to power m. That's why it is always kept 2 raised to power m minus 1 to avoid duplicate frames. Is this clear? Why the window size is 2 raised to power m minus 1, not 2 raised to power m. Yes, tell me. Should I repeat something? Is this clear?
Got it, ma'am.
Okay. Am I connected still? My network is lost. Can you see my PPT?
Yes, ma'am. You can say.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it is showing me that my network connection is lost. Okay. Just look at this diagram. See, now I think you are not able to see my PPT now
No, ma'am.
because I'm connected from the mobile, so mobile data is still working, but my Wi-Fi is gone. Yeah, I think connection is, the network is resumed back. So what is the window size in the go back N? What is the window size at the sender side in go back N? 2 raised to power n minus 1. At the receiver side, at the receiver side, window size will be 1. Okay. Now just look at this diagram. First you tell me the number of bits used for sequence number in this case. Yes, number of bits used for sequence number in this case. Yes, anyone? Yes, what is the number of bits used for sequence number here? 3. Okay. Yes, 3. The sequence number are from 0 to 7. Window size is 2 raised to power m minus 1. So 0 to 6. Okay, just look at this diagram and try to understand whatever we discussed. So what if your frame is lost? What if your acknowledgement is lost? What if your acknowledgement is delayed? Just look at this and try to understand this scenario. And if you have any doubt in this, you ask. Because this is how you have to explain the diagram with this type of diagram in the exam. Or if scenario will be given like this type of scenario. Okay, so you read this scenario first and then I'll show you the diagram. Just read this, take 2 minutes to read this. I think still you are able to see the previous screen, na? Nah, yes, now you can see, yes. Read this scenario and then I'll show you the next diagram. Try to understand that. Just done reading?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then see this. And try to understand what's happening here. Yes, समझ में आ रहा है क्या किया यहाँ पे? SF is pointing to, you can see the window is slided. You can see here, initially, all these frames are here and the frame when we transmitted, SF is pointing the frame which we have transmitted, SN the next frame we can transmit. So when we receive the acknowledgement here, so now SF is incremented and now window is slided by 1. Now this 7 is included in the window. So it means we can send all the frames from 0 to 7. Then we send the frame number, next frame, frame number 1. So SF is pointing here and SN is pointing to the next frame which we can send. Now we transmitted the second frame also. Now SN is pointing to the next frame which we can send. So now this acknowledgement was lost here. Okay. And here, once it is, and here it received, this acknowledgement was lost. The frame number 2 was received here. So here acknowledgement was sent ACK3. So this cumulative acknowledgement will work and there is a delay. It takes time now to reach from sender to receiver and receiver to sender. So that's why it's a delay. So when this acknowledgement was sent here, it is received here. So before this acknowledgement was received, the frame number 3 was also transmitted. So when we received ACK3, it means the acknowledgement is, this acknowledgement is cumulative for frame number 1 and 2. So automatically this SF is pointing to now 3, and the window is slided by 2 points here. So now it initially it was from 1 to 7, now it is from 3 to 1. Okay. And now it has sent the acknowledgement 4. So now this SF is again incremented by 1, and these are the frames in the window which can be transmitted without waiting for the acknowledgement. And at the receiver side, the window size is only 1. So is this scenario clear? Any doubt in this? Yes? No? Is this clear? Now you see this scenario. Okay. You want to read these statements or directly diagram? So first you read this, then the next, this is a scenario given, and then you see the diagram and try to understand. Is done reading? Should I switch to the next slide? Yes? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just look at this. So here the case of frame lost, acknowledgement delayed, retransmission, cumulative acknowledgement, everything is there. Timer expired. All cases are included in this. Initially, frame number 0 is sent, acknowledgement received successfully. Now the first frame is lost. Second frame is received. See here, frame number C, now we transmitted the frame number 0 and acknowledgement received. So now our window is from 1 to 7. It means we can send these 7 frames without waiting for acknowledgement. And SF is pointing to first frame. This was lost. Now we send the second frame. Now we send the third frame. Now we send third frame here. Okay, till third frame. And here it is expecting frame number 1. So when the frame number 2 is received, it is discarded. It will not accept that frame. Now when frame number 3 is received, it will not accept. Simply discarded, and it will not say anything. Okay, because it is waiting for the frame number 1. Now the timer expired. See, even if the timer is not expiring, then you can transmit these frames also. Okay, but timer expired from frame number 1, and you already transmitted frame number 1, 2, 3. But you timer expired for frame number 1, so you have to retransmit all the frames starting from the 1. Okay, not only the next frame which you transmitted, you have to retransmit starting from the SF. That's why go back N. Na? So here you retransmitted the frames 1, 2, 3. And now it sent the acknowledgement 2. Then it sent the acknowledgement 3. Then it sent the acknowledgement 4. But it was delayed because here it was doing retransmission, that physical layer. Now it has to deal with both the things. Now it has to send the frame which it has received from the data link layer, and it has to receive the acknowledgement, process it, look into the address, where it has to be given and all that. No? So it was busy. So that's why the acknowledgement was delayed. And so whenever the acknowledgement was received, so the window was slided by 1. And now these are the frames in the window which can be transmitted without any waiting for the acknowledgement. Okay. Is this clear? So we can say stop and wait ARQ is a special case of go back N where the window size is 1. Okay. And in go back N, window size is 2 raised to power m minus 1. So now this is the next protocol, selective repeat, which we will discuss in the next lecture. So is this clear? I hope. Any doubt in this, whatever we have discussed in this go back N is clear. Any question is asked on go back N, are you able to write? Yes. If any scenario is given or if you have to explain with the help of this flow diagram, can you explain? Okay, very good. Because almost we can see, this is what I'm telling from previous so many years. This time syllabus is changed, but still the basic things will be going to be same. So almost 99% times there was one question in all your previous years exams of CN on this go back and selective repeat. The question can be compare, explain some scenario given, why window size is 2 raised to power m minus 1, what is the window size, or at least for 10 marks. There used to be always one question on this go back and selective repeat. So these are very important topics. Okay. So we have to stop here.